Hi Hillcrest, it's JR here. I'm going to show you our brand new dance floor that we purchased. This is a nice dance floor. It's actually pretty simple and easy to put together. Kind of walk through how to place it down and how to tear it back up so everyone's in tune with how to utilize it. If you come over here and take a look, you'll notice that it's a 3 by 3 foot square. And that's what we're looking at as far as the pieces are. So each one of these pieces are about 3 feet by 3 feet. Probably weigh about 30 pounds is all, so not too heavy. It has its own cart that is pretty easy to push from behind. And the nice thing is, as you start to get down, these posts here come out to make it easier to pull and place the pieces when you need to remove more pieces off the floor. So that's a nice feature about it. When you're ready to lay this down, you're going to grab one of these pieces, and you'll notice that every piece is flipped so that way we protect the surface so this hard black plastic isn't scratching up the nice dancing part. So when we are done for the night with the dance floor, we're putting it away, we've got to make sure we flip every other piece as well too. So you're going to take the piece, and if you notice, like I was telling you before, there's some male and female edges that we're going to work with. So all these here are going to be your male pieces, and same on this side. And this edge here is going to be your female piece because it has the loops that actually attach everything together. So when you lay this down, you're going to work, if we're setting up the dance floor, and this is our windows looking out, we're going to set it up going left to right. So what I like to do is start with my upper leftmost corner. We're going to set it down and make sure it's perfectly square to the room. So if it doesn't look square, you might have to kick it just a touch, make sure it's perpendicular. This is probably one of the most important steps to do, because if you don't do this correctly and have it square, as you get longer and longer making your dance floor, it's going to be crooked. So that's why it's really important to make sure you lay down this first piece correctly. Now if you look how I laid this down, I've got the female pieces on the right side and on the bottom, and the male pieces on the left side and the top of our dance floor. So when I go to grab the next piece over here, I'm going to lay this down the exact same way, where again I have my loops on the one side of the right side of it and the bottom, and then on the left and top there's no loops at all. So when we lay this together, we're going to lay this over the top of these loops like so, just so it lines up, and then you're going to come along and actually just step on them on the seam, and that actually secures it together. And that's as simple as it is to put together the dance floor. So this dance floor can go to 21 feet by 21 feet. So to do that, we'd go out 7 pieces and then down 7 pieces, filling in the gaps as we go along. So what I like to do with this type of dance floor is I set my first row, however long it needs to be, go back, place my second row, and just continue in that pattern. More people you have, obviously, the easier this thing's going to be to set together, because you can just have people keep bringing piece after piece after piece for you. Once you're done putting it all together though, we have to set up the edge pieces. So that's what's actually in these 2 crates here, are the edge pieces. You'll notice that we have these organized. So all the male pieces with no loops, except on some of the edges where they snap together, are going to be in one of these bins, like so. And then the other bin has all the loop edges, the female pieces like so. So that way when these snap together, they'll be complete. One thing we want to make sure we do is not mix the bins up with like so or like so. That way we keep all the pieces where they need to be. Makes it so much easier when we're putting and tearing apart the dance floor to ensure that everything's in the same spot. Set these down. What you're going to do is come over here. So this is my male piece. I'm going to lay it down like so over the top. This is going to want to have to stick out a little bit in order for us to ensure that our next piece that we're going to put here is going to go right up next to this. And so again, you're just going to do this, and if it doesn't push in for you, there it goes, you can obviously stand up and just push on it with your foot. This piece would go over here, and the way this is facing is actually going to be this bottom piece of our dance floor. So to do this, you're going to have to lift up the edge a little bit, and these just kind of pop on underneath like so. Okay. And then you'd continue with these pieces here, I'll show you this, is going to go like so, right over the top, just like I showed you before. And then these will all just press in. And it usually takes about 3 of these pieces, they're about 12 inches long, to finish the square. And then if we were to grab the other bin, I could do the same thing over here. Again, I'm going to lift up so I can get it underneath and push it into position. And then same thing here, we're going to lift this up, which goes this way. And push it into position. And that's essentially all we do to put the dance floor together. When we're ready at the end of the night to tear it down, you just do the steps in reverse. So over here, I'm going to get on the ground, pull these up like so, and they'll pop right out for you. Also works if you try to bend them up just a touch, so that we don't run the risk of popping the loops. And on these ones, it's best if you just lift it up and then kind of push down. These ones will pop right out a little bit easier for you. Okay, and then we got the main piece to pull apart, and this is pretty simple. It's just 1 foot here, the other foot like so, and you just rip it up. So there you have it. That's how we take apart the dance floor. Again, when we put it back, we're going to want to make sure we do it in a way to where every piece is being laid down the exact same, so that way we're not running into an issue when we're taking it out again later that we have the wrong pieces going the wrong direction. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.